How's it going today, everyone? This is Johnny Midnight. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little arena grinding today. Hopefully we'll have some people checking us out. So we're gonna start from scratch with an arena grind. There we go, now we got sound. Was wondering what was on. One of my settings I changed. There we go. How's it going today, folks? Gonna do a little arena grinding, 4-star featured. Trying to get some good units. Fresh run, so I'm going to be doing it in an infinite streak. Building up to it. How's everyone doing today? Really cold here in Texas. Had some snow this morning, which is unusual. Oops. Alright. Kind of the boring part of the matches. Just too easy. I can mess up. It doesn't really matter on anything here. This one will be the harder match out of the two, but I have advantage on this guy. Hyperion will go down pretty easy. Not anyone's really favorite champ. Man-Thing is kind of a little bit of a letdown this year when they released him. You can R3 to the face. A little bit of Man-Thing spitting up there. Call it the Man-Thing Bukkake. Yeah, I try to use my 5 stars in the 4-star arena. I just kind of start off with some of my lowest ones. Oh, there goes Sally, my dog. She's hearing another dog. So I like to use synergies most of the time for this. So what I try to do is I try to line up for synergies. Line up my champs, just try to get as many points as possible on my first run through. Right now, you're not going to get a lot of points because we're still building up our multiplier. I'm playing with no sound, so it makes it a little bit harder to play. I'm still trying to get used to that. If I put my headphones on, I hear my microphone because I can hear the output. And that's kind of awkward for me. I'm used to just freestyling on the mic. I used to be a karaoke jockey for 14 years. And never really ran through monitors, so I hate hearing myself through a monitor and through a headset because there's slight delays. And those slight delays can throw you off what you're thinking, because you start paying attention to your voice and how it sounds. So I just like straight up just talking right into the mic with no headset. It was like playing this at the office, like when I would be on breaks or whatnot, I'd be like, okay, I have to quickly move for AQ, for Alliance Quest or Alliance War. Try to sneak away and play, but didn't want the volume to be up to people be like, what is he doing? Got one more match and we're going to hit the, we're going to be really close. Once we get up to match 5, we'll be getting up to the 3 times. Kind of like how I did in my first video where I did that infinite streak. I'm going to start working up, and you can actually see it when you don't have like the 6 stars like I did on the infinite streak one to show you guys how to really do it. I'll actually show you how to do it without just 5 stars. So if you don't have a lot of 6 stars in your roster, those will kind of show you how to do it without the 6 stars. You only have a 5-star roster, and you can see most of mine are R3. I just got Guillotine 2099, so she's still R2. Yeah. Do this synergy. One of my favorite teams to throw out there on one of the low matches. Hopefully those who are watching can see the live chat. It didn't enable yesterday because I didn't know that YouTube's COPPA restrictions, they set it default to include people under 13, and now with COPPA in effect, that means if you okay the stream for anyone who's under 13, they will strip you of the comments. So you can't have people comment, you can't have people do chatting with you with live chat. So this time I actually took that off. I made it for people who are above 13 with a mixed audience. So hopefully you all can see that chat bar, so you can type in a chat and talk to me so that I can respond, and if you have any questions, I can answer those for you. I don't know how familiar you are with the game of Marvel Contest of Champions. If you have questions of playing, I'm a 5-year veteran playing the game. These matches are usually easy one. I don't mind getting them up to their special 3s. I don't really mind that at this point in time. Just because this is no big deal. Usually they can't do enough damage to really kill you most of the time. Though I'm facing a 13 power rating Captain America Infinity War. But usually the thing is on these low ones, the system usually tends not to throw the special 3 right away. Usually it's once you get down to about 20%. So yeah, you see I'm still alive. It's hurt, don't get me wrong. That hurt a lot, but the computer plays very, very, takes it easy on you at this point in time in the game. So even though this guy, he sandbagged it. See, they put 2 3,000s and 1 13,000. So that was going to be my hardest match. But, you know, I still came out with a win, even after taking a special 3. You just have to be mindful of things like that. That could kill you if it was much later. And that's the system plays aggressive, and depending on who you're playing against, too. Like, who the characters are. They're like running this grouping here for my last one in this round. In fact, at this point in time, some people will drop down to an easier. You can do that as well if you wanted to. This is going to give me 2 class advantages, so it's gonna take some work from me, especially with Havoc being there. But I'm hoping that Kingpin can kind of overpower that Havoc. Probably Kingpin would have been better to go up against Archangel here, because should I take a hit and get a debuff, but the whole hope is that I don't get hit, because this is now where I have to start really paying attention to what I'm doing. And I'm going to show you a real technique that in case you don't have a really big roster, there's a little technique you can do for sandbagging matches 7, 8, 9 for the most part. Or actually it's 8, 9, 10. Because you want to get the counter to 10 before you start throwing for the Kangs. There's 2 ways you can do it, really. But I'm being mindful that not everyone could have as depth of a roster as that I do. So I want to show you the way, like if you didn't have as big as a roster as I do, how you can actually get through some of the tougher matches when you're trying to build up to get to match 10, where you want to throw your stronger people. This is real easy right now. Oh, I messed up. That's okay. Wasn't too hard of a match. Usually, now that I'm up to match, beat match 5, my win streak is 5. Match 6 is where it starts getting a little bit more progressively difficult. You're going to see the power index, the PI, of the competitors go up significantly from here. Before, it was taking it easy on me. It's usually 1 through 5 is the very, very simple one. It's 6, 7 that can be really testy if you're going to throw in your R3 or the rank 3 5-stars. But you just got to pay attention and try to play as clean as possible. It's real easy to get from 8, 9, and 10, quite honestly. It's actually easier than 6 and 7. But then when it goes up to the 10s, you have to throw up a very powerful team in order to trick the system into giving you a default Kang team or Thanos team. Which is, you're playing just an AI. You're not playing against somebody's roster, so you don't have to worry about masteries, because only playing like actual my roster, if you were to fight my roster, you have to fight me with my masteries. But if you're fighting a Kang team or a Thanos team, you don't have to worry about those masteries, as well as the power index is a lot lower than facing a total kill squad of somebody with all maxed 5 stars. Can be done. It's just tougher. At this point in time, you're just trying to go for points for the most part, so... Who do I want to play on this? I'm thinking I'm going to do the, I think I'm going to do the Mr. Fantastic. It's a nice little synergy team. Now that I'm hitting the 3 times, I can start actually increasing. So, as you can see, the guy has 6,000 on me. Now, I can fight that. I'm pretty confident I might win that. But some people actually start lowering at this point. I'm going to try to do the challenge, so... Try to get some points here. I think Invisible Woman could take on Black Panther. He has an easy move set. Same with Hawkeye. Those are 2 older champions. They have pretty easy to evade Special 1 and Special 2. They're pretty straightforward. They've been around since like the beginning of the game. Nothing special to these particular original Black Panther. Still one of my favorites though. Alright, after this I'm going to want to back off. Try to bait out his special. And there you go. See, even with disadvantage and all that power index rating in his favor, it's just easy. You just got to learn the move sets, keep concentration on what you're doing. This should be a pretty straight, simple fight here. I was wondering if he was going to throw a special 1 because the AI has gotten smarter as the game has progressed. And sometimes you'll go in for an attack and you'll charge in, and all of a sudden the computer launches a special where it wouldn't normally do it. There was ways of really guessing what the AI was going to do back in the day, but they've increased the difficulty and the AI acts more sporadic nowadays. Which is good, because it makes it for a more interesting game, it makes it a little bit tougher, but it's definitely a learning curve every time they make these little tweaks to the game. Throw that, dodge it. The second part of that is easy to dodge, it's just waiting for him to jump forward at you. Harder one to dodge is his SP1, because his special 1, he throws out an orb, and sometimes timing can be just a little off for some reason. I don't know if you guys, if you're actual players of the game, if you've noticed, sometimes, like, projectiles move slower than what they normally do, or can move faster, and it can throw off your timing pretty bad. I pushed him to an SP3, but... should be able to come away. Oh! Went for an attack too early, so... Oh, thank you for that, Ricochet. Kind of put some hard work to that layout. I actually got it from Nerd or Die. And then I worked on getting everything all set up the way I wanted to, with everything, you know, get my logo on there. Pretty soon I'll actually put down in the descriptions of my setup, so that if you guys have questions on, like, you know, what kind of computer I'm streaming with, you know, and what kind of phone I'm using or tablet, I could definitely put that information so that you guys know exactly what I'm using. And if you ever have questions on, like, if you guys ever are into streaming and you ever have questions on setups, I'll be more than glad to answer what I know. I'm still kind of a noob, but I did a lot of research before doing my first stream. Also that years as a karaoke jockey, I learned a lot with digital audio and video feeds, especially, you know, we use computers nowadays for karaoke. And you just hook it up and you'll hook up a mixer with it. So I'm very familiar with that, so it was nothing for me to really get used to it. Yep. Single dig sub. I'm there. So do you have a channel, Ricochet? Let's see. I'm gonna do the Dormammu one with hood. No, I don't want to use Mephisto on that. Who do I want to use? Mordo. I think I could take on that. Oh, awesome. I'll make sure to go to yours and subscribe. Well, that's true, but I don't know if you stream as well, so. I might have to make that restream that actually shows it just a little bit more or less opaque, so that your messages show up a little bit better on there. They make it a little bit thinner so it doesn't cut out the character on the right there. Ooh. But luckily I can't bleed. The thing you have to worry about with Winter Soldier is really his bleeds. Like an SP3 is a little bit danger. Let's see how much damage he'll do. He shouldn't be able to put me down below like 30 probably. Not 48, so that's good. But I don't bleed. Had I been a bleeding character, that would have been devastating for me. But because I was facing him with Dormammu, I'm not going to bleed from that attack, so... Oh, make it a little bit more translucent. Yep. I can do that too, but what I noticed is it makes the text, but I might be able to darken out the text. Because when it does the opaque, it actually does it to the text as well. So it makes it hard to read for you guys, I think, on what's going on there. I'll just have to play around with it. But you were the first person to ever be my first chatter. So this is the first time of me being able to see it, and I'm kind of glad, because then that gives me that visibility of what it looks like for you guys, as I'm looking at it here, and I can definitely make any changes and corrections. Because I'm all about the experience. It's like I want to try to find a good royalty-free music and play a little bit of actual music in the background to you guys. Didn't get him down. Yeah, you can definitely, yeah, you can drop it. I don't mind, actually, that would be great. You know, I thank you for that, Ricochet. Boop. On launcher special 2. Oh, the auto block. On. Yeah, I might lose this one. See if I can get some regen. Yo, Moon Knight Gamer, how's it going? Oh, the reflect on that. You kind of pulled my attention away. That was... But luckily, I'm really low on my win streak here. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to do my bishop team up. So like what I do for maximizing arena points is I try to always run synergies on my teams. I try to get the most synergies as possible, trying to increase the power rating as much as possible. I don't run suicides at all, so... This is actually my second time live. My first time was yesterday, and I did an how to make an infinity streak on a 5-star arena for the 5-star feature. So yeah, this is like my second time on live. Might as well be my first. It's my first with actual people. I don't have any mods. This is the first time anyone putting in a chat. You and Ricochet. I got the first dex, but I mistimed the second. Of course he's gonna turtle up. Could you be a suggestion as a mod? Thank you, Gus. Welcome. So don't mod Moon Knight. I guess the power goes to his head. Starts banning everyone. I'm gonna lose this just due to all the degeneration from all those negative effects. He's one of the worst, like worst of the worst. Okay, so this is the point I'm gonna sandbag it. So you don't have to run like all 4 stars and 5 stars, though you can. I mean, sorry, R4s or R5s, you can at this point, but it's not really necessary. So if you don't have a deep roster, this is what you'll do to sandbag. You just pick 2 of your champs of your personal choice, throw them in there. They could be, I usually go R3 on my 5 stars, and then just not filter, but sort by your hero rating and throw in one of your weakest. And then you can see you get easier matches. And generally your 2 top are going to be around the power index of the higher characters there. It makes it so much easier to get through 8, 9, and 10. And then once you get to 10, you can just do all your R5s and R4s. It's happy days and greener pastures from there. Everyone's giving Moon Knight hell. I'm still trying to get used to the delay in the sound to the game when playing through headsets. It's about a second delay. Wait for him to open up and just throw that SP2. So I'm gonna challenge myself here. Sometimes I throw these matches, but I'm gonna see if I can actually take him down. I went to go and just block to try to parry, and the parries are really off since this last update. Yeah. I'd get a lot of boos sometimes, especially playing when the sound's off. And that's my dog in the background, that's Sally. Ran Hulk. Hawkeye. There. No, I don't want to do that one. I think I'll just do two random. That's what. I hope it's not a killer trying to break down the door, Sally. I'll think about it, Midnight. Right now, I'm such a small channel that I'd pretty much just mod it myself, but I'd definitely consider it. Oh, those questionable mysteries unlocked, and you're saying masteries. I don't know when they're going to be unlocked. According to Kabam, they're not going to unlock them. They don't see a reason to add those masteries. They've been there since like 2015 that I know of. I've been playing for 5 years, so they've always been in that question mark. Basis for Alliance? That's not going to happen. They removed that a long time ago. Oh, you guys are funny. I'm probably really comfortable with Wasp. A lot of people hate facing her. I know her evade really sucks. I'm just kind of fooling around here. Want to see how far I can get him down. Really don't care about that special 3. Ah! The game's just been really turtling up as of late. You'll get him in the corner and they'll all of a sudden just keep blocking. Alrighty, so now I've hit a win streak of 10, so now is when I want to start throwing in some my R5s. I have a lot to choose from at this point. Oh, sure. Yeah, Ricochet. I'll definitely give you a roster tour. So here we go. We can go back to the match. It saves it. So I've been playing for almost 5 years now. I wasn't one of the first players in 2014, but in 2015, in the beginning part, about January is when I started playing. This is my 5-star roster. I have 139 5 stars. I have 45 6 stars. A lot of R4s. You could pretty much name a 5-star, and I almost have it. Now we're getting into the 4 stars. Have a lot of high-ranked 4 stars, you know. I remember I would get these in the arena for the basic 4-star when we only had the 4-star arenas. And I mean, I would grind that every time these champions came up to not only get the basic, but also waking the champ. Spent days upon days grinding out most of these champs. The 5 stars came with spending money, quite honestly. I'm not gonna lie about it. I used to be a whale. Nowhere near Crystal Opening Whale, but up there. As for, we did have a question here about, is it necessary to go for a Legends run as soon as the event quest launches, or we can start at any time? When it first launches, you can go for a Legends run. It's usually about the first 2 weeks that it's open to complete it in order to get qualified for a Legends run. You don't need to do it immediately. What I would advise you to do is just go ahead and, you know, within the first week is when you really want to attempt to go for a Legends run. Try to get it by the second week if possible. I haven't done a Legends run myself, just because my work is very strict in the past. Recently just lost my job, actually. Got laid off because we went into cuts just because my company wasn't making money. But that's neither here or there. But so I got laid off, but I was working a lot. I was a supervisor, so I couldn't play long enough to really sit there and focus on trying to do a Legends run straight. Mostly could just run like arenas, AQ, do the alliance quests, you know, do the event quests. So I never really tried to do that. Oh, don't worry, Zoe. You know, sometimes it happens for better reasons. You know, it wasn't a healthy environment anyway. But needless to say, you know, I put my time, I put some money, you know, and grinded this all out. But a Legends run, yeah, I may attempt it now. It may be something that I might actually attempt. But the best way to do it is just try for a heroic first. If you can do that within about an hour and 20 minutes, that's really good sign that you might be able to do it. Because Master is not that much harder if you have a roster like this. You usually, if you can do heroic pretty quick, Master will kind of be around the same time length. Not a problem, so yeah, it's just sad. It's just a sad of end of affairs. I was the most expensive supervisor they had, so of course I kind of knew it was coming. I knew the company was hurting, trying to make it turn it around as much as possible, but I'm only one cog in the wheel, so but yeah, yep. You know, I might move back to Georgia from Texas. I moved here from Texas because they bought my company, bought me out, kind of used me up for 2 years, learned what I could, and then, you know, said, okay, we can now have somebody do it cheaper. Because I had to set up people. If I went on vacation, I had to make sure people were trained to do what I did. And then they were like, well, now we can do it with the person who you trained, and we don't need you anymore, and you're really too expensive. And, you know, it wasn't just me. There was a large number of people that got let go, so... It's, you know, just new times. Time for a change. You know, move back. You know, I've got a good severance package, so I've got some time. Definitely going to be putting out resume and looking for jobs, but may actually move back to Georgia because I miss my family and friends. I have a lot of friends back home. May actually get back into karaoke again. Alright, so let's get back to the arena grinding. Is Gus still here? That I don't know. If you do you might be able to see if he's still here. I'm sure I will. I'm putting myself in a position where no matter what, even if I have to take a small pay cut, you know, a job is better than my pride. I don't have to make what I was making. I was making pretty good. I was working in the search industry. You know, worked with Google, Bing, all of those, doing ad campaigns and stuff like that. Worked in it for 12 years, worked 14 years as a karaoke jockey, did both actually for a long span of time. Yeah, severances are nice because they give you that small breathing room, and then it kind of gives you time that even if you run out of severance, and because I was there as an actual employee for so long, I have a considerable one, so I'm good for at least 5 or 6 months, but I'm kind of arranging things that to move back to Georgia real quick. Just kind of, my dad's kind of failing and ill. He's got cancer and stuff like that. Doing well. He's got stage 4, but it's kind of put a stop to it. He's been doing immunotherapy for a year, but I think I want to move back and make sure that he's taken care of. Possibly move in with him and help just with the days ins and days out of just the normal chores from day to day, because it's just really rough. You know, he's in his 70s. I'm not young. I'm not like a 23-year-old kid or anything like that, or 25-year-old. I'm actually 43, so I'm an older, you know, not yet boomer. Not a boomer. Could be. But no, I'm Generation X, but... I have a good 401k package, so that's going to help out, you know, give me some breathing room too. Take care, like, you know, I'm going to pay off my car first, so that, you know, the most important things. But then get a job, and I'm not, you know, there's no shame to it. If I have to take something that's... you know, a lot slower than what I was, it's fine. Really, Ricochet? 70s, baby? Yeah, that's right. I'm still young. I'm young enough that, you know, I'll definitely find another job pretty easily. It's just, I'm really caught, where do I want to work currently? Like I said, it literally just happened this weekend. Like, it just happened yesterday. So it's really, really fresh. So I kind of spending today, like, you know what? I've always said I was going to do a stream. Let me do the stream. So that's why I'm here doing this. Oh, I don't want to throw in him on there. There's my saber-tooth. You know, I'm just gonna, you know, I don't mind taking something smaller. In fact, I need something that's just a little bit less, you know, a slower paced job anyway. Kind of just, you know, It was such high stress there. Like, I was paid very well. Like I said, I was a whale for a while, and you know how you have to be a whale in this game to get sometimes these rosters. Well, I was throwing, you know, several thousand at the game within a few months time period. It's insane. You know, one of my favorite streamers is ILAC, because ILAC keeps it real. I know all about some of those modders and cheaters in the game. You know, they do exist, unfortunately. I know it from other mobile games that I've played. And they would always try to talk to me because I was a whale, and they would say, hey, why don't you attempt to, you know, buy these units really cheap for like 50% off. And then they told me how to do it. And I was like, no, I have to contact a guy in Russia and I have to give him access to my account. No. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. It's not legit. But those scams are out there, man, that, like, you know. And these games are full of it. I was a legit whale where it was 100% paid for. I'll do the crystal opening whale. I got the receipts, yo. I could throw it out there. I don't nearly. Oh god, that guy throws so much money at the game. It's unbelievable. But, you know, I'm going to help my dad. He has a really nice coin collection, and he's talking about possibly selling it on eBay. And if I go home, I can help him set that up. Old enough to notice the beginning of a body parts fall apart. There's some truth to that. I live in a really nice two-bedroom apartment on the second floor, and you'll hear Sally sometimes bark in the background. She's a sweetheart. She's a dachshund. But every now and then I'll go down the steps, and the knee just doesn't quite want to work the way it normally used to, and it just has a slight pain to it. Oh gosh, like things sometimes you start noticing age. You really do. So, who do I want to throw? Let's do the Holy Trinity. See, I didn't even show you what the SIG levels on some of these guys are, because if I did, you'd probably be like, geez, I wish I had your roster. And it's not bragging, like I said. It's kind of like, you know, at this point, like, I didn't do it for bragging. I just did it because I'm a collector by heart. You know, I collected comics when I was a kid. My stepfather growing up had a comic store. So, I mean, these are characters of my nostalgia. These are characters of my childhood in some respects, in a lot of these. And I grew up with these characters. So, you know, they come out with a character, oh, I really, really want that. And I don't mind, you know, I wouldn't mind throwing a couple shekels here or there in order to get them. You know, or at least try. Really, it was when they came out with the Cavalier Crystal that really, really opened up with the number of 5 stars I got. Those Cavalier Crystals, the first couple months that they opened and became available, oh, dude, number of 5 stars was unbelievable. How comfortable am I in my current alliance? I'm really comfortable, quite honestly. I really don't know currently, only due to the fact that we only do AQ 5, map 5 times. I'm kind of getting bored of that. We've been doing it for years. So, you know, it's just like, you know, might I want to open that up? Those doors of possibilities? Yeah, it's always a possibility. It's always possible that I might move on to another alliance, just because I'm getting tired of that. I mean, we're always like, you know, we're in the gold 2, gold 1, you know, it's not a high stress, that's why I was in it, because, again, my job was so stressful and I couldn't pull away. I used to be in an alliance that was aiming to be a top alliance, and I was in there, but I just couldn't commit to map 6 at that time. We didn't even have map 7, I couldn't commit to map 6, because you kind of have to be on the ball and always be there in order to move. And I'm like, dude, I'm a supervisor. I can't just be like, oh, sorry, I got to go move my alliance when I'm sitting there in a meeting. Just, you know, I have certain responsibilities. But now I have a little bit more flexibility and freedom, technically. But I mean, these guys have been really good. Like DAO, like, you know, the originals, we really, like, you know, stuck through it. We've had members come and go. Everyone's been an outstanding, you know, they're really nice. So some things happen and it kind of irks me because I'm like, well, why did we do this? But when it comes down to it, though, it's just, oh, that's right. This is how I want to run it. You know, they're a really good band of guys. So at this time, I'm not necessarily looking, but what AQ numbers do you guys get approximately points rank? We're usually in the 700s right now. I don't know because we just took on a couple new members after war season ended. We had some people who were just burnt out because war just kind of takes it out of you. And we are right on the cusp of going Plat 1 or Plat 3. Sorry, we're right on that cusp. We can get into it. It's just staying in it. It can be really, really stressful, so we'll have some guys end up leaving because we're trying to cut down our deaths. I'm actually in one of the battle groups that's one of the better battle groups that usually has the lowest deaths, and usually because I have a lot of champs that I ranked up specifically for AW defense. But one thing we're noticing is even in Platinum, the longer that these chaps are... yeah, I'm online. The sooner and sooner that these champs have been out, or the longer they've been out, the more people get used to them. So Thing is not as tough as he used to be. Havoc is not as tough as he used to be, especially if you have the right counters. And a lot more people have like Warlock to counter Havoc. So it's really, really becoming a point in the game where some of these really, really awesome defenders aren't awesome defenders in the higher end tiers. Yeah, but Gus, yes, I have Line. I also have Discord. I have both of those. So it's really, 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 you know, either one of those, it's easy for me to just link up and chat with someone. In fact, Johnny Midnight should be my name online. Or actually, it's Midnight007 online. But the username that's behind the scenes, that's you have to actually look by the account name, is Johnny Midnight. Yeah, Havoc, I don't mind him being at an SP3 because I have Havoc here, you know. Cyclops is not going to do anything to me with his specials. You're saying the AQ is a bit higher than where me and Gus's ally is, but pretty much the same. Gold 1 and then P4 area, yeah. It's just, it's really tough. You get up into that gold 1, you know, that gold 1's easy, or easier. But that platinum, man, that platinum is really, really tough to sometimes crack. We were doing good. But this last war, the season, we kind of fell apart near the end there. We lost too many in a row right near the tail end because I think people were just getting burnt out. And sometimes it's a lot of the changes in the game that's going on. Some people are getting upset with the amount of bugs, and you know, people are getting stressed out. You know, the nerfs now that they're talking about, which nope, that rebalancing. That's really getting a lot of people frustrated. Me, I'm like, you know what? Rebalance means it could go one way or it could go the other. It could be that they bring some champs up, but the fear is they're picking champs like Namor, like you see I have an R5 Namor. You know? Do I really want him to nerf this guy? No, man. I got 200 SIG levels on him, you know? Do I want him to take him down in any capacity? Heck no. But, you know, it's Kabam. They're going to make their decisions. They don't care about me. Especially if I tell them, oh yeah, I'm no longer a whale. Yeah, my overall prestige is 10,570. So yeah, my overall prestige, you know, and my overall allies prestige is pretty well too. We have certain people, like we have some of the other players there are also really, really good at having big rosters and deep rosters. We tend to run about 9,900 at the beginning of a AQ season. So, and then that's your base, what you start out with, and then you just add points there. It's like, usually we add about 1,700 every single win of map 5. So we end up pretty strong. We end up with like by about like somewhere over 200 million in points. And it's just funny because I'm not really paying attention. That's why if I'm playing a little bit more like crap, it's because I'm not really paying attention. I'm talking to you guys, and I have no sound. I'm playing with no sound whatsoever. I'm just kind of just on autopilot in my head. I've done Arena so much that this is just, you know, 6,000 power rating is not going to do anything versus my R5s. So it's like, oh, you can hit me all you want. It's not going to do anything. You're barely taking off any damage. I don't feel like I'm in a threat. Like, I really need to concentrate. But, like, oh, yesterday I was doing the infinite streak, showing how to do it with the 6 stars. And was with my Mephisto. And it was versus Kingpin. And I was trying to get Kingpin to throw his SP2 because he was close to that SP3. And I accidentally got him to the SP3, so I went full into him, got to my SP1 with Mysterio, and launched the SP1 to get the refraction, you know, to reflect the damage back. And he did exactly what I hoped for. He actually did his SP3, took me down to like 1%. Oh, that was insane. And I had to dodge because he had me in the corner immediately. So I was like, oh gosh, he's going to come charging. Dodge, dodge. And literally the reflect happened and all that damage went back to him and took him down to only like 10% left. And I just finished him off. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that was like the fight of my life. Because I didn't know how much he would take me down because Kingpin is just horrible to fight sometimes. If you get him to the SP3, it could be the death of your character. Oh, if you want a cheap, if you want a little cheat thing, just pull up the synergies and you can just pull over the champ that you're looking for. Been forgetting to do that actually. Yeah, about 220. Like, I'm just giving rough at ballpark estimates. I don't keep it memorized, just because, like, to me, like I said, I've turned off my brain on AQ. So to have 220 million, it's in the 200 million spots. In fact, I can't quite show you because we just started, but it's pretty close to that. We're around that. The problem is everyone runs around that. There's a lot of people who run map 5, and then there's a lot of people who run one map 6 and then 4 map 5s. So there's so many people running it that the differences between 220 and like 223, there could be wide differences because a lot of people are running it. There's too many R5s, and that's where most people's bulk of their prestige is at. Now that we're starting to see R3 6 stars coming into the game, I think that's going to change quite a lot. It's going to, the top alliances, you know, the whales and whatsoever, they're really going to pull away from the rest of us with the prestige and getting higher points. And it's a little bit sad because, you know, it's going to create a big chasm between some of the lower tier alliances and the upper tier. For granted, you know, some of them paid for those rosters and paid for that ability, and they pay for the potions. You know, do they deserve it? Yeah, some of them are really good players too. Like some honest to God, really good players up there. Seaton's really good. I wouldn't necessarily call him a whale, of course, but he's probably a narwhal, if anything. A sub whale, maybe a whale shark. But, you know, Seaton does spend money on the game. It's because of YouTube that he spends the money on the game. He doesn't hide from that fact. He even said if it wasn't for the fact that he makes money on YouTube, he would never had spend money on the game to the point that. But he's a really great guy. He's a pretty decent player. He's a really good player. There are players better than him, of course, but that guy got into the finals there at New York Comic-Con. Like, he's no one to laugh at or just discount. And I've known people that did that to him. They're just like, Seaton, I can say so many things about Seaton. And I'm like, dude, the guy is still good. He's still decent. He's not a bad player. He's really, really good. He's better than me. Definitely by a long shot. You know, he studies these characters. He'll tell you what movesets to do and exactly what order and do it on the fly. I'm one of those idiots that I'll run into blind. I won't even read nodes. I'm like Thanos. I don't know if you know Thanos from iLac Stream, but I'll run into those nodes without even reading them. I did that all through this, the uncollected. I didn't care what the node said. I beat it. Nova was a little bit hard sometimes, but you know, I didn't mind losing 2 characters to him when I have a full 5 characters that I can beat him with. So I lose a couple, oh well, so I'll just slowly drain him down. But a lot of you people out there that play this game, they don't have these rosters, so I really feel for them because it is tough and they need to read those nodes. That Abyss of Legends is going to be a real pain. In fact, I can actually show you where I am in the game with the maps, you know, the story. I've cleared 100%, 6.1, 6.2, I did the initial clear. I'm going to be working on towards doing the initial clear of 6.3. I just want to save up a bunch of revives, especially. The revives are going to be key to that, I think. I did LOL first run, but because I held off for the longest time on LOL, I mean, I really held off on LOL. Labyrinth of Legends, I did the initial clear, and it's just having an hour to do a match was really bugging me, and I'm like, I don't have this kind of time, and I still need to do all my event quest stuff, so it really was on a low burner. Now the rewards are like, man, do I really want to do it for the time? It's just like the rewards are not even worth it. Yeah, totally cool. By the way, you have a great streaming presence, very well spoken and knowledgeable. Oh, thank you. Oh, Thanos is in your alliance as well. Oh, dude, that guy is amazing. What he does for the community is amazing. He's a great guy. Second account that is though. You know, thank you for the great stream presence. Like I said, I spent 14 years as a karaoke jockey, so I definitely have stage presence and mic presence. I definitely can speak and keep people entertained. Like, you don't have to keep it on the game. You can talk about movies if you want. I love going to movies. Try to see a movie a weekend. Possibly may go see a movie this weekend. I don't know. Generally, January is the time of year where movies are horrible. But, you know, I'm not very knowledgeable in comic books. Like I said, my stepfather was a comic book store owner, and I grew up around it. But I got out of it for a long time there, so I'm not up to snuff on like all the storylines that's going on now, but I am familiar with characters. I have friends that are actually comic book artists. People that I know that are in the comic book industry that I follow, that I'm fans of, because their personalities are great. They may not even, you know, be at DC or Marvel anymore, but, you know, they're just really, really great, awesome people, like down-to-earth people. Yeah, I cleared 100% Variant 2, Variant 3, and Variant 4. I did the initial clear on Variant 1. Variant 1, on the first chapters, I have 100%. But it's the second and third that I haven't fully cleared yet, because my roster was lacking, especially in some, like, tech was seriously lacking. And as you can see, I'm working on trying to R5 Warlock next, because once I R5 Warlock, I'm going to do a serious attempt at trying to complete some parts of Variant 1. I think Variant 1 was the worst one out of all of them. The restrictions on certain champs, and they had disadvantages. It was just horrible. I really didn't like how they laid that out. The nodes were pretty much where it's like, oh yeah, that would have been great if I had this other champ, but nope, because I'm class restricted, I can only bring in these champs. And you have to have specific champs for specific types of nodes in that. It really, really was limiting. Oh, Sally. That's my dog whining. You may hear her whine in the background. She's over my shoulder on the bed, watching me playing this game. She's getting a little bit, like, wanting some attention. She may need to go out. So I may take a break real quick, like a 5-minute break, and take her out real quick. Which, don't mind, like, I'll keep the stream live. There'll be some music playing during the break, too. But yes, Thanos is supposed to have a channel too now, and I really want to go check out his stream. I want to give support to him and Derek with his carrots. Oh yeah, lost that one, but I wasn't planning on... Alright, let me go take my dog out real quick. She's getting a little antsy. She's a really, really good dog. She'll actually tell me when she needs to go out. So I'll be back in about 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, so hold on. Alrighties, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Whew, that was quick. She's really quick when she needs to go out, because she holds it until she needs to. And she'll actually come and get me and let me know if I'm being a negligent father. Thank you, Gus. Definitely, yeah. Add me to your line chat, man. I'd be more than honored to, like, you know, come in and whatnot. Oh, thank you for the setup. The comments on the setup. Like, I really, really worked hard on doing this. You know, Like I said, I plan on putting all the information on exactly how my setup is. So tell you exactly what computer I have, the motherboard, everything. Have a mixer, like an actual sound mixer. So like I have pretty much studio grade equipment almost. My father was shocked. But you have a good one, Gus. Generally, what I do is Vision and Captain Infinity War and Iron Man Infinity War. So, as I said on my yesterday's live stream, if you haven't caught it and you didn't see it, one of the things that I did was tell how to get to the infinite streak, which I'm currently on, but also how to maintain it, because you have to worry about it until you come up to round 23 in the game. So round 23 is kind of where you're in the safer position. Now, because I'm only in the 4-star arena at this point in time, like there's really very few restrictions. It's mostly on your 4 stars, with whether you want to bring in like R4 or R3 4 stars. But in the 5-star one, I actually went over which 5 stars, like how low you really want to go, and you heard it here first that R3 6 stars are a game changer. And when the Abyss of Legend comes out, be prepared. A lot of the whales are going to pay, and they're going to have 2 to 3 R3 6 stars. Once you have where 10 to 15 people have those, the system itself looks at how many available R3 6 stars, R5 5 stars, and it determines who it's going to put you against. The minimum cap for the cap for the infinite streak is going to dramatically change. It's going to get worse. Like right now, you can get away doing like a couple R3s and maybe an R1 or an R2, and you might not get a death squad. But I have a feeling you're going to need all straight R3s in order not to get a death squad soon. That's why as soon as we saw everything go up and everyone's like, oh, I'm no longer getting an infinite streak when I'm running even my 4 stars, people started freaking, and Kabam came out and said that it's because of the number of R5 5 stars that came out, that people have more and more rosters have them, that it changes the dynamics of the game, and especially the arenas had an unfortunate side effect due to that. We're going to start seeing where it takes R3. I foresaw that, and for the past year and a half, almost 2 years, I have done nothing but rank up my 5 stars. So that's why when on ILAC stream, I told him that all my 5 stars are R3 or better. Like I spent years just grinding out the AQ, always spending my glory on T4 basic when I needed it. I didn't focus on the TB5 like some people do, just because I want to keep that arena streak going, and I want to make sure that I can get the free units, because that's going to, now I'm in a good spot now that I don't have my job. I'm not going to be spending on money on the game as I used to. So this puts me in a really good position to actually just grind out, get the free units and the battle chips. And earlier this week, I was at like 1,200, and now I'm at 1,700, and I've got the battle chips. Hopefully I'll get lucky and get a 1,000, maybe 2,000, but it just takes time. This week I was busy at work, but now I can actually kind of put some grind to it while I'm job hunting. Because back when I was stationed in India for my job, I was working overseas, so I didn't go out much because, sometimes they'll have riots over there. Some of you don't even know that, but sometimes they'll have riots in India, and there'll be water disputes and stuff like that, and it's dangerous for Americans to go out there. on the streets, just because, especially where I was stationed at Bangalore, the residents of Bangalore are upset at a lot of the aliens, which is just, aliens is not a bad term, it's a universal term. No matter what country you go to, if you're not a natural citizen, you're an alien. So I was an alien. So they would sit there, they had a lot of illegals in Bangalore because people go there for work. And they have a lot of people who come there for work and take work from the people who are there. And Bangalore is interesting because it's a cosmopolitan city that's tech, it's the tech hub of India. So you got these skyscrapers, these beautiful skyscrapers and stuff like that, and then you'll see abject poverty just right next door, like a block away. So I would just sit in the hotel room. I would actually pace it. You know, I was trying to lose weight at the time. I need to get up my fat behind and start losing some more weight. This job, when I moved over here, same company, but I moved here to Texas, I got put down in a supervisor position, and I wasn't being as mobile because I had to be at my desk a lot of the time. A lot of people had questions. A lot of people had issues. I was the go-to guy on a lot of instances. So a lot of times I didn't get to take even breaks. But you know, needless to say, I would just play this for 6 hours in the hotel / apartment room that they gave me, just because, you know, when there wasn't having a strike or a riot, and it was safe to walk the streets, I would walk the streets and I had no problem. But yeah, during the riots, they would the hotel would tell you, do not go out there. Not. You'd see burning buses, stuff like that. Oh, I love the food though. Indian food is amazing. Still one of my favorites. Right next to sushi. Japanese food, Chinese food, and sushi. Oh, love that. Oh. We'll do that. I probably got a few more matches in me. Just because it's going to get near time that I got to feed Sally, the Wonder Dog. I would love to have an animation of her so that when somebody does a super chat or something like that, that she'll come out and do something. But I don't want a real picture of her because, you know, everyone would be like, oh, she's so cute. And then all you guys will want to do is see her. No, just because I'm a big fan of animation. Having an animated Sally would be... She's just looking at me from the bed. Oh. Sad face. He's sunbathing. Oh, as for the line ID, my line ID is Johnny Midnight. Just like my station name. In fact, it should even have the space in it. And if not, try it without the space. But Johnny Midnight is my actual line ID. I started playing off of what I was seeing in OBS and not paying attention to what's going on my iPhone. That's not good. It's delayed up there by about a split second. I just don't want to do, like, you know, just keep you guys on here for 2, 3, 4 hours. I can definitely do that with a grind, trust me. I've done it before. Woo! And in case you left, Gus, and you come back to listen, you can also just hit me up in game, and I can send you the line chat, the line ID. There we go, finally. Yeah, I think I'll do one more match, get to the 1.5 million spot, because then I'll collect my milestones, and I'll call it for right now. And let you guys go and have a wonderful day. See, who do I want to do? Always a good team up. Lots of synergies. That lineup. Whoa, whoa! That was a mistake for me, but luckily there's enough bleeds on him to take care of the job. Oh, I hate Spider-Gwen. Alright. Yeah, now let me go collect my milestones. I think this is a 4 million. Probably grind it out tomorrow, the rest of those points, because from here, it should be pretty easy. And that's one thing people haven't really discussed, but you can get these nuts from the milestones now, too. So if you're running a little bit shy of getting that million, I would advise doing some of these milestones here, because you can get some more. You can get about another 10 to 15,000 per arena. So you can do the 5-star, the 4-star, and the 3-star, and just kind of pick up those units as well as pick up those nuts. This way you can go to the store. Alrighty, well with that, please, if you like the stream, please definitely hit a like down below. If you like my personality, like some of you love my presence, you love the setup, you love my my whole setup here, definitely do hit subscribe. Looking for as much subscribers as possible. Trying to get up there in the monetization zone to where I can have commercials and actually make money on this thing. But until then, you guys have a wonderful day, and be looking forward to seeing you on my next stream.